Hello all, my name is Pavan and welcome to my YouTube channel SPK Arts. So recently Mahavatar Narasimha got released in theatres and instantly became a blockbuster. I watched that movie and I loved it very much. I saw one particular frame in this movie, I'll show it here. So after seeing this particular frame, I got this intense urge to paint it. So I took a photograph of it and I came home, I sketched it and I started painting it. So in this video I want to show you how I painted this specific frame from the movie Mahavatar Narasimha. I love this particular frame so much because it conveys the depth, the emotion, that intense devotion towards the God. And so is that God is loving you so much that He is willing to come in front of you and hold you in His palms. So I became very much attached to this frame and I wanted to paint it. So I sketched it without any trace or anything. I just sketched it freehand. I'll show someday how to sketch. For now, let's focus on painting this. I sketched this freehand on A4 size oil color paper with rough proportions. I'm not trying to sketch or paint it as a carbon copy of the original, because animation and painting are two different themes. I am trying to get as close to the original as possible by capturing the essence of the picture. I started painting with his eyebrows and eyes, slowly moving to the darker parts of his skin. First painting the outlines of his face to clearly differentiate between light and shadow, so that I will have a clear idea on which color I should use at which place. The context of this painting is very much known if you have watched the movie. Even if you didn't, it's evident just by having a glance at it. Lord Vishnu appeared in front of Prahlad, taking him into his palms and looking at him compassionately, while Prahlad is speechless looking at Vishnu, whom he worshipped against the will of his father. The entire painting has taken me 2 days to paint. I painted for approximately 1 hour each day. So for the convenience of viewers, I have fast forwarded the video. So if you still feel that this is lengthy, please switch to 1.5x. Here I am painting from dark to light, first painting the darker tones of his skin, slowly moving towards the lighter tones. The story and context of this painting is very much known to you all, so I am not going to bore you by telling that again. I'll just play some music in the background and give my voice only when necessary, so just enjoy this video. Now I am painting his tears. I just dabbed my brush in white paint and started painting along the edge of his eye till his cheek, like a flow, to make it appear as if the tears are flowing from his eyes down his cheek. Now I am using a darker tone along the tears to make it appear 3D, as if they are real tears. Oh, I forgot to mention, for the skin tone of Prahlad, I used yellow ochre, red, brown and white. I mixed it in different proportions to give a differentiation between light and shadow. For shadow parts, I used more of red and brown, and for lighter parts I used more white. So I used yellow ochre in a very medium tone. Now for the skin tone of Vishnu, I am experimenting with different types of colors. So for his nose and eyes, I am using the same skin tone I have used for Prahlad. And coming to his skin is depicted in blue in color. So I am using a mixture of Tala blue and white and a tinge of yellow. Then I figured out that adding yellow was not the right choice. So now I have to correct it again. So now I am just simply using Talo blue and white and a small tinge of purple. Adding purple to the Talo blue and white is the right choice because it immediately gives you that vibrant look, that it appears like real skin. The skin color of Vishnu being different from Prahlad is a different task for us to paint because we don't know how to paint shadows and light in this specific skin tone. So to do that, I am using more of blue and purple for shadow tones and I am adding more white to lighter tones to differentiate between light and shadow. Just realized that painting his nose with Prahlad's skin tone was a blunder. So now I will have to correct it because it is not aligning with his blue skin tone. So I will go ahead and correct it up. day 2. I started painting this last night, and I have finished the skin tones of both Vishnu and Prahlad, and this is how the output looks. I am very happy with this present output. The life is visible here. The tears falling from the eyes of Prahlad looks realistic and convincing enough that he is really emotional upon seeing Vishnu. And Vishnu's eyes shows that compassion, that love towards his devotee. And now I should start painting his jewelry and the background. So let's get into that. Starting with his jewelry, I didn't actually figure out the right way to paint gold. I am just using yellow ochre for painting gold. For darker tones, I am adding a little brown to the yellow ochre, and for lighter shades, I am adding more of white. So if any one of you knows the right proportions and right colors to actually paint gold, please let me know. For now, I am using the method which I know, and it is working fine, but I want to upgrade to paint realistic gold. So I started with painting outlines with darker shades and lighter shades to give an impression that this is a crown. I am not trying to replicate the exact design which was shown in the movie. I am just trying to capture the essence of it. I am not going into details. I just want to people notice that there is a crown sitting on the head of Vishnu. That's all I want, nothing more. As I said, I am adding brown to yellow ochre to paint shadow tones, and I am adding white to paint lighter tones. So I am just playing with colors, painting darker tones and lighter tones to give an impression that there is a jewelry design. And for his garland, I am using a mixture of white mixed into red, and I am moving my brush in random designs to give an impression that this is a garland. Again, I am not going into details. I am just moving my brush in various patterns to just give an impression. I am not trying to paint every single detail. I want people to notice that there is a garland here. That is all I want. So coming to the hair, I am using a mixture of brown and black. For darker tones, I am adding more black, and for lighter tones, I am adding more brown and white. And that is the color I used for the hair of both Prahlad and Vishnu. Now coming to the background, I mixed phthalo blue and white, and I am simply giving nice strokes in the background to make it appear as if it's somewhere else rather than this earth. To give a design which I have never painted before. So I thought this would be a challenge, but this was easier than I thought. So I am just giving straight strokes with my brush using phthalo blue and white. So for farther areas, I am using a tinge of yellow and blue to make the background appear darker, and for the closer parts I am using more white. So I am just moving my brush in the same direction to make the people notice the brushwork, so that when the people see this painting, they immediately notice the background. No one talks about how energy consuming and time taking it is to paint the background, especially when it's closer to your portrait. You have to paint it very carefully so that the background will not get mixed with the main picture, the portrait of the person you have painted. You have to be very careful while painting the background across the edges. One mistake and your painting is ruined. So I have taken enough time to paint across the edges of both Prahlad and Vishnu. I am adding a few highlights with white on the top of the crown to make the colors pop. So here is the painting. I hope you all loved this painting tutorial. Thank you all.